Welcome back to today's video, doing a 5-day forecast today, having a detailed look at where the next 5 days, plus some British Isles. It looks like we'll be keeping it unsettled with areas of low pressure coming in off the Atlantic, often bringing bouts of rain across the country. There's signs of a change though next week, and this is just outside the 5-day forecast period, but it looks like it's going to be turning a lot colder through the course of next week, with the risk of the first significant night frost and possibly snow of the season. So it'll be a case of watch this space on that. But as I say, it's just outside the 5-day forecast period, which takes us up to Monday. So before I get on with 5-day forecast, just say about the ads. There's 6 articles on all basic gas, so let's have a browse, widgets, and click through the links if there's any articles that you're interested in. Thanks so much for doing that. This video adds on most pages. I open up with content you want to upload back up again, and is helping to pay for our website. The websites we're using for the 5-day forecast coming from the weatherout.com, website.de. Find a link to both websites on the links page. So here's the radar picture for today. And we've still got some showery bursts of rain across the east and the northeast, particularly focused on east and southeast of Scotland again, although it is light and it has been over recent days even there. Elsewhere, it's just generally light, patchy stuff, not really amounted to too much, like a drizzle, got Mr. Merkin in a few fog patches around today. Now, just coming into the very, very far corner of the radar picture across Southern Ireland is the next bout of rain, and that's going to be with us tonight, being a proper wet and windy night across many parts of the country. Here's today's Arctic pressure chart, and we've got low pressure out to the west, developing and sending a weather front into the country. And I say that'll be with us tonight, but overall, actually, it's a quieter day today under a very, very slight transient bridge. So we've got the showery bursts of rain in the east and the northeast, particularly focused on east and southeast Scotland down to northeast of England, but it'll get lighter and more patchy through the course of the day. Elsewhere, just drizzly bits, pieces of rain coming and going, with a lot of cloud and mist and murk, a few fog patches lingering on as well. And then across Ireland, Wales and the far southwest of England, it'll probably turn wet, quite windy by the end of this afternoon. Temperatures today are quite chilly actually. It's a cooler day than we've been used to recently, so temperatures probably ranging somewhere from around 3 Celsius in the north of Scotland to around 7 Celsius down across southern parts of England. It does feel a little bit cooler than we've been used to recently. Overnight, this active weather front will sweep across the country, so heavy rain will gather in the west this evening. I mean, it'll spread across the country through the night. Tight back to ice bars in there with that. So it'll be windy, wet and windy conditions through across the country. You'll probably wake up at some point in the night and hear the windows rattling and the rain sort of blasting onto the glass. That could turn to snow as it hits the higher ground of Scotland and northeast England. I think it will be mainly over the high ground. Few flakes, that's coming down to lower levels, and by the end of the night we'll actually find the conditions calming down across Wales and the far southwest of England. With all of this going on, it's going to be a fairly mild night, temperatures holding up at around 5 or 6 degrees, although obviously it is cold enough for snow over higher ground of Scotland and northeastern England. So first, it's going to start off on a very grim note across many parts of the country, with lots and lots of heavy rain, driven on by those strong southerly to southeasterly winds. The rain will keep moving through the course of the morning, so most places will brighten up, but I'm afraid for Scotland there's a bit of a stall going on here, indicated by this elongation in the isobar. So the front is stalling a bit across Scotland, and the rain could be on for much of the day there, especially where we don't need it in the north and the east of Scotland, where we've had, and the southeast Scotland, where we've had all of this flooding recently. So there may be another bout of flooding across the northeast through the course of Thursday, but most places will actually brighten up with sunny spells coming through, although there'll still be showers in the west. Fairly breezy day as well, and it's going to feel quite chilly. Temperatures are going to be around average really, at around 3 to 8 Celsius, but it's certainly cooler than we had it through December, and certainly cooler than we've been used to recently. As we move through into Friday, that low pressure is clearing away finally with its fronts to the northeast of Scotland. We may still have some rain across eastern Scotland to start with on Friday morning, but it will clear away through the course of Friday and then probably going to get a trough moving in across England and Wales. So although many places may start off Friday with a fair amount of dry weather, we'll have showers, probably quite heavy showers, across northwest England and Wales from the word go, and expect those showery conditions to spread across England and Wales through the course of the day. I'm not sure how heavy these showers are going to be. They could be fairly light and not amount to too much, but it's one to keep an eye on. So some fairly heavy showers mixed in. Temperatures on Friday, somewhere again around 3 to 8 Celsius, about where you would expect the temperatures to be on the 8th of January. Another system's moving in from the southwest during the course of Saturday, so very unsettled weather going on into the weekend. Again, many places may start off Saturday with a fair amount of dry weather. There could be some frost up in the north, but we'll have heavy showers from the word go across southern counties, and those heavy showery bursts of rain will push northwards across much of England and Wales through the course of the day. Could be some really wet weather in there on Saturday afternoon across England and Wales. Scotland probably gets the best of it, but if those showery bursts do get up to Scotland with wind in from the east, we could find the rain turning to snow, especially over higher ground. Temperatures in the south a little bit higher at around 9 or 10, so fairly mild down in the south. For the central northern parts of the country, quite chilly at around 5 or 6 once more. Moving through into Sunday, the weather remains very, very unsettled with a deep area of low pressure sitting almost over the top of the country. So that heavy rain from Saturday will be pushing northwards and eastwards overnight, Saturday night into Sunday. Could still be in the north and east on Sunday morning. That will clear away, but expect further showery bursts. I don't think Sunday will be quite as wet as Saturday. Out of the 2 days, it's probably the drier day, but expect rain to be coming and going through the course of the day, really on what will be a very unsettled weekend. Temperatures a little bit cooler again on Sunday, so back to around average 3 to 8 Celsius. And then we go through into Monday, the end of the 5-day forecast period, and notice what's going on now. The trough of low pressure is slipping down across the country. Pressure is beginning to rise in the northern Atlantic, so the wind is starting to go in to the north or the northeast across parts of Scotland. So very little change actually for most of us on Monday, with still showery bursts of rain coming and going and drier spells in between. But as those colder north to northeast winds begin to dig in over Scotland, we could well find the rain turning increasingly to snow, even coming down to low levels across parts of Scotland by the end of Monday. Temperatures in Scotland by the end of Monday probably just 1 or 2 Celsius, but for much of England and Wales still fairly mild, and that's for the north of Scotland, I should say. The rest of the country, though, particularly England and Wales, seeing temperatures again around average at 6, 7 or 8 Celsius. Do you want to see what happens after Monday? Don't normally show this on the 5-day forecast, but the latest idea from the GFS is to move the low pressure to the east and increasingly through the course of next week to turn the winds into the north. So as we go through the week, colder and colder air starts to dig down from the Arctic, and there we are by Friday, the end of next week, in a proper northerly plunge with a risk of snow, especially in the north, some hard overnight frost as well. Winter will be biting next week if that comes off. It's quite a long way off, so don't be running away with the idea. That's definitely how it's playing out next week. But there has been an upgrade this morning for this cold weather potential next week from particularly the GFS, but also the ECM. WF is there or thereabouts. I may update the blog on this this evening. So finally, having a look at charts and weather outlook for the next 5 days. Here we go for today. This is showing quite a lot of sunshine across the country. It doesn't take into account all of the low level dank and gloom that we've got sitting across the country. So it's a much cloudier day than this is suggesting. But the rain is up in the north and the east mostly. Overnight it turns wet and windy across the country with heavy rain, strong winds sweeping through. That'll still be across much of the country on Thursday morning, clearing it away to the east through the course of the day, but lingering across Scotland. I'm a bit concerned about the flooding potential again across eastern Scotland. Brighter skies following in with showers. Some of those showers could turn a little bit wintry up in the north. moving through into Friday. It should be a drier day, but there will still be showers, especially across England and Wales through the day. And then Saturday I should say, looks potentially very wet, particularly for England and Wales, with heavy rain pushing up from the south. Sunday, not as bad, but still showery rain coming and going. And then still showers as we go through into Monday. Temperatures throughout generally around average, so cooler than we've been used to, but not too bad. But by the end of Monday, I would expect the cold air will be starting to tuck into Scotland, and that spreads southwards if the models have got it right through the course of next week to give us our first real taste of winter for this winter next week. So a big case of watch this space on that one. So in summary, for the next 5 days, remaining very unsettled with showers, longer spells of rain, some really wet weather around at times, an ongoing risk of flooding, probably especially for Scotland tomorrow, and temperatures around average, so a bit cooler than we've been used to through this winter so far, but not too bad. By Monday, the cold north to northeasterly winds will possibly be starting to push into Scotland. Those winds and cold air spreading south, maybe next week. That's it for now then, and thanks for watching.